from 86 TVs featuring ex-members of the Maccabees, including Felix White, who, and this is absolutely true, the first time I went to see Fontaines D.C, which was at the Victoria in Dalston, in East London, I said to Felix, do you fancy this? I think they're pretty good. And so Mrs. Doctor and one of her friends and me and Felix all went, and it was great. And they're here this evening. What was that? Was that your second or third gig in London, that gig at the Dalston Victoria? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that one. I don't remember the first one we did. I think we did 4 maybe in London.
Right.
Was it?
I think that was the third.
I was the third.
So, yeah, only your third time.
That was the one where we got signed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Victoria.
Yeah, I think Partisan saw you that night, and didn't they sign you within the week, or did they come up to you that night and say, there you go?
I think we got an email the next day or
Did you?
that evening or something, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they all heard that you were going and they all flocked,
I wish that were true. And from there, now look at you, headlining the Park Stage at Glastonbury. I wonder what that was like and what you were feeling just before you went on stage, whether there is a moment there where you have to just catch yourself knowing that this is quite a big deal.
I think I can't really remember that one too well because my adrenaline was off the charts.
Was it?
Yeah. Like I've seen footage of it, I've been like, did we play that already, And I think the next day when the lads said, I was good to play Checklist Reckless again, and I was like, we didn't play that, did we? Honestly, it was...
Really?
Yeah, but it was... I'm enjoying it in hindsight, every day.
Mm-hmm. When makes it sound like previously you've been learning how to enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're all getting a bit better apart from Glastonbury, like looking around and taking it in, smelling the roses.
It's lovely to have you back, particularly with this new record, which I think all of your albums to date, album 2 and 3 and now this one, each new record you do, it feels like you open a door into a new room. And certainly the second one did, the third, Skinty Fear did. This one, it feels like you've opened 2 or 3 doors into new things. Do you think that's along the right lines?
I think there's a lot to be said for the fact that we had a bit of a break. We had about a year off, apart from the Arctic Monkeys tour. And I think it was enough time to... I don't know, there's a sort of fulfillment in that time. I think we emerged as very kind of grounded people, you know what I mean? And I think we had the time and space to look around and think about what doors we wanted to open.
And did you learn much from the Arctic Monkeys tour when you came back, either through watching them or just learning something about yourselves? Yeah,
I learned that you can make it to that kind of level and remain intact as a human being,
Yeah.
And I learned that Sheffield people are very similar to Irish people.
In what way?
I mean, we bumped into them at the same pub a fair few times,
Right, I see.
But I believe it goes beyond that.
Yeah. So making the album, when did you start it? Were all the songs new, or had there been songs which you picked up, which you'd left somewhere along the way, or is this a brand new? Was it a clean sheet?
Yeah, we're not. We don't really recycle songs. I think no, I don't think so. I think we like to harness the energy of newness. You know what I mean? So it's usually kind of like a harvesting of the last 6 months. That's kind of how we work. And I think there's a lot of talk about visual, like the kind of visual aspect of it. I mean, in terms of, we spoke about films a lot and cities and like atmospheres that inspired us much more so than kind of guitar tones. Well, speaking for myself, he's always on about guitar tones.
Not at all.
So, did you have a sound or sounds in your head? Did you have what it was going to be in your head, or did a lot of what became the album happen in a studio? Because you've done different things with the drums, you've done different things with guitars. There's different layers. There's amazing, there's the use of the harmonies this time round. There's lots of things which I don't know whether it fell into place or whether that was what you were heading for all the time.
I think the songs their initial incarnations, had all the sort of had all the bells and whistles, like, you know what I mean? Because it was only through that kind of prism of production that the songs made sense. It was only through those songs that the production made sense. I think they justify each other, you know. We weren't really. I'd never want to be in a band that kind of like books 6 weeks in a studio, has no songs, and just kind of looks around and goes, "Oh, look at that chord, like we do something with that." Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Just kind of responding to a call. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like Lee Maverick said.
Yeah. I mean, also, for one thing, it's a very expensive way to make a record. Just sat in the studio waiting for inspiration.
Yeah.
And did you translate this to James Ford, who worked on this album? Do you sit down and say, well, it's got to be like this? Did you outline the atmospherics of the record? Because it has great, atmosphere. Or did you explain to him, this is what I'm feeling, and then he somehow conjures this up? Because I was thinking about this. A producer's role is like a coach driver. You've got some people in the back and you ask them where they want to go, and they say, I want to see a really good lake. And so he drives you to the lake. It's like, I've got this sound in my head. Can you get us there?
Yeah. I think we did a fair bit of groundwork in terms of the sort of the world of the production ourselves beforehand, and then when he did it, he kind of just, I mean, he's like that. He's kind of, he just wants to talk to you, and he wants to understand what world you're soundtracking. Yeah. And there's a few times where he was kind of like, I remember when the moment when he was like, "Oh, I get it now," and then once he gets it, he pulls his sleeves up and just like starts tapping away and laughing like a lunatic, you know. It's not true at all. He's very professional.
And did you have an idea of the lyrical tone? Because there are obviously different facets to this record, but also I don't know whether, I think we spoke when you released your solo album a little bit about this, whether you know what you're writing at the time or you write something and you decipher it later.
I'm aware of a sort of a vague kind of feeling somewhere that needs to be exercised, and I kind of I write to reveal that, identify it, and then it's kind of, it doesn't bother me as much anymore, you know what I mean? But it's not really, I'm not really very good at picking a topic and writing about it, do you know what I mean? It just feels a bit like homework for me if I do that. So I usually kind of, what I usually do is I'd write the tune, and then I'd move the last stanza, the last verse, whatever, to the beginning, and I said that's the bar. That's like I'm kind of getting somewhere now. I'm kind of, you know what I mean. There's a route within me there, and then I kind of chase that, and eventually it makes something. And it's impressionistic. It doesn't need to be linear or even understood on a conscious level. I'm much more interested in connecting with people without them realising, like, you know, like Mark Zuckerberg.
We were just saying, well, that last record was playing, that I'm having a really good time with this record for once, not trying to work out what you were saying in these lyrics, but trying to work out what these lyrics mean to me and how they affect me. And I was just, trying to untangle all the words and then thinking, not what's it about, why has Green written that, but what's it say? What does it make us feel? Which is a very clever skill, young man, if you don't mind me saying.
Thank you very much. Thanks for calling me young as well. Don't feel it today. I think that's a breath of fresh air to hear somebody say that's how they're kind of processing what we do. You know what I mean? Because I do get very, very sick of being asked to explain what the lyrics mean, because they mean what I wrote them intentionally. You know, if I could just sum them up in a sentence, I could just send you a text. I don't need to write an album. Do you know what I mean? It's not, it's like you were telling me about something, Carlos, before. Some poet was asked about what his poetry meant, and he said something about there's a note between two notes. Do you remember that? It's not B, it's not C, it's this. Do you know what I mean? It's its own thing. Stop trying to. Do you remember that?
Vaguely, yeah. Vaguely.
You're a liar.
You see, what's happening now is you can just, there's going through the Rolodex of memories and theories.
A lot of.
No, I was just making a face. There's nothing happening.
Oh, is there not? It's completely vacant behind there. Is it behind that stair? I tell you, here's. I always like to have a theory, disagree, and I'm sure you will. the one thing which I think about your records, they're about the place and the people, right? And the first one was about the place more than anything else. It was about Dublin with the people set against it. So the first one's the place. I think the second record, Heroes, is about people. It's about the people. Skindy Fear was about the people and the place, or the people and a sort of sense of displacement. This record feels like it's about the people again. It doesn't matter where they are.
Or the place inside the people.
Or the place inside the people. I had this theory, and then there's a line. What's the line? It's in the first track, isn't it? Maybe romance is a place. I thought, well, not geographically, but yes, this is about the people, maybe trying to find a place, but it's about the people, this record, trying to make sense of the things around them, trying to make sense of the stuff in their head, more than what the landscape is doing to them.
Yeah. I think there's actually a town called Romance, though, in, where was it? Where was it? It's where Emma's from.
There's a town called Romance.
We found out after, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, give it a Google.
Huh? Is it in Georgia or something like that, or some southern stuff?
I can't
or
remember.
Washington.
I don't know anyway, yeah, but there's a place out there, and it's not about that at all.
Would you say it is about? It is about people. This record, though.
I think, do you know what? There's a book called Land Sickness by a friend of ours. He's a really good writer, really good thinker, called Nicholas Schultz, and it breaks down the barrier between people and their environment. It's kind of one and the same. It's like
right.
Gaia theory and all that kind of thing. To kind of stop seeing things as boundaried in that sense. You know what I mean? I think there might be an element of that, because there's a desolation on the record that I think runs in tandem with the desolation of the individual. Do you know what I mean? I think they kind of represent one another. Yeah.
And it's interesting, you go through different states of mind on the record, but then it finishes with a song which is unreservedly happy, it appears.
Yeah, I think it's hopeful. And it's not necessarily happy to me, but it's interesting at least. It's like something to do. It feels like something to me, you know what I mean? Yeah.
And you were talking about images and films and the filmic image around the record. At various points in the record, it feels like the only thing you can see is two people embracing while buildings collapse in slow motion around them. That's what I get.
That's basically a specific image that we discussed. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Is it really?
That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? It's not like stop asking me what lyrics are about all the time. Not you. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Just because you came to the same abstract conclusion, emotional conclusion that I did when listening or writing the record, you know?
Yeah.
That's what it's about, connecting on that level. You know what I mean?
We'll hear some tracks, a couple of tracks from the album, and one from the archive as well, coming up after 6 o'clock. Thank you very much for coming. You've got about 5 or 10 minutes to get ready, and we'll come back and see you after that, if that's all right. Fontaines D.C, live in session for us in the final hour. Next, though, this is something, talking of atmospheric records, this is...
if it's momentary. I wanna top of the gag if it's a bottle of bag. I wanna strike at the sag, I need the friends from it. I wanna make the mag, I wanna shot the dag. I wanna live the yak and call the ends on it. I wanna take the truth without a lens on it. What God-given insanity depends on it. How I feel, how I feel, how I feel. Yeah, I wanna kill all the handed and a turned up challenger. I wanna keep on your charm in a canister. Do you inspire like the same did Salinger? Well, on the pig on the Chinese calendar. I got a shadow like a 5-8 caliber. I wanna move like a new salamander. I love the carry on, it's a real scavenger. It's more tyranny keeping me from me. Hit me for the day, for the light that you suffer to come by. Take to my sky, never wanting, only wonder to live out of reach. Sloping family, short to tall. 1, 2, 3, swallow the key. In the footprints I will follow. I'm gonna hit your business if it's momentary business. I'm gonna hit your business if it's momentary business. I'm gonna hit your business if it's momentary business. I'm gonna hit your business if it's momentary business. I'm gonna hit your business if it's momentary business. I'm gonna hit your business if it's momentary business. I'm gonna hit your business if it's momentary business. I'm gonna hit your business if it's momentary business.
Yes, it's Fontaines D.C, our special guest playing live here at Maida Vale 3 on this Monday evening. I'm just doing a bit of covering here because there's some changeover of gear. One of the things I love about that, so I hadn't really thought about it before, but that there's a spy thriller bit right in the middle, that little plink of piano. You know the bit I mean? It's just there in the middle. All of a sudden, you've got that image of the
Lamacq, Steve Lamacq.
Coming down the ski slope. Yeah. Fontaines D.C. are going to do another new song for you in a second, but I think next, an old favourite. Are we ready? Does everyone look? Yeah. Fontaines D.C. It's all over. It's all back to you.
childhood was small. My childhood was small, but I'm gonna be big. But I'm gonna be big. My childhood was small. I am. My childhood was so small. But I'm gonna be big. But I'm gonna
That was a bit of crack, wasn't it? This is favourite.
Bed
Fontaines D.C. live in session for us. That's a version of Favourites. Just before I have to go back to the other studio, that song in particular, just watching you do it, and I'm very lucky to be stood here in the same room as you watching the session, only a few feet away from you. Even you look like you lose yourself in that song, because that song to me is one of those songs that you can be absolutely on your own with, that you could just lose yourself in, and it doesn't matter, you can shut the whole world just fades away when you're inside that song.
Yeah, and kind of I don't know, it just brings me back to life. I mean, I'm looking up there and all my friends and family are just going past like it's real, you know. It's yeah, I don't know, music's a great thing, isn't it?
It is. You can see Fontaines D.C. on tour all around the world, through Europe, then it's America and Canada, then back to Europe, including some UK dates, and then finishing off 2 shows in Dublin in December, I think, which is an awfully long tour. So look after yourselves. It does sound like you're old man. Look after yourselves. Take plenty of fresh underwear. Eat well. Make sure you get your multivits. A couple of early nights, and we'll see you back in Blighty or over in Dublin before Christmas.
Yeah, come over to Dublin.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I fancy it. Album's out on August the 23rd, Fontaines D.C. Thank you very much for joining us. And we have some...